Yo dudes and dudettes, this is Getsu, and this is part 11 of Can I Beat Rimworld for the first time. Winter began with a new recruit, Brouma 2. He didn't wait long to start binging on food. Off to a strong start. I deleted our berry bush farms to make everyone focus on actual farming. Didn't help, because, you know, winter. A mad turkey reminded everyone that nature still hates us. Then, right after midnight, 6 people got muscle parasites. Not great, but Lama's medical of 19 should speedrun it. And that probably happened because I completely forgot about it. Meanwhile, Typhoid started his daily insult tour, walking into bedrooms just to trash talk people while they slept. Truly a community man. One of our Boomalopes starved to death and exploded, because raiders had blown up the barn earlier. No feed, no future, so we released the young and retired the old ones. Problem solved. I call it adaptive farming. Some call it mass slaughter. Tomato, potato. And that's how we fixed animal starvation. Take notes, class. When animals start starving, get rid of them. After that, I took a moment to look at the EMP launcher. It taunted me. G-Box and Nico got into a fight. Didn't see it happen, but the bruises told a story. I forgot to connect my new batteries again. Science is about repetition, apparently. I knew something was amiss here. We expanded the battery rack using hardware ethically sourced from the prison camp. Carlos wrestled the links and won. There was a scientific breakthrough. You can wear a flak jacket and a flak vest at the same time. Then I started building a great wall of animal safety. My defenses grow like scabs. Gaines was named after a friendly streamer, Astur. Welcome aboard. December 7. Another piece of garbage fell from the sky, poisoning every plant around it. We used every shell of the explosive element we had, and still ran out one shot short. Fire shells did nothing. We tried 3 times, because hope dies last. Low on steel, high on desperation. I sent Honketon and CJ to snipe them. The Doom Blenders didn't even notice, until CJ got too close. One of them finally did the math and shot back. And missed. After 2 days of laid-back sniping, the planticide bucket finally exploded. It's freaking done. Also, I discovered Lama and Sin were sleeping without a roof, covered in snow. Snow insulates, right? My incompetence truly knows no bounds. Recon armor research done. Frick yeah. Soma wouldn't stay in bed, kept getting up and then screaming in pain. Oh yeah, right, the parasites. I noticed a new mood. Luxuriantly comfortable, probably thanks to the infirmary TV, either that or the morphine. Later, I realized the hospital AC was gone. I wanted to blame the bugs, but it was most likely the failed move. Ergo, my fault. Again, Typhoid started working on a bionic arm for Carlos. Lama installed it not long later, and the surgery was an easy success. Then a boom rat set the gauntlet on fire. Because why not? The people who couldn't art got inspired to create. Zilla tried wooing Typhoid. White Reach sent yet another unreasonable request for 5 bionic tongues. Sin and Lama got engaged, and we still didn't have enough steel. Business as usual. I named Lydia's child Dragonborn, and marine armor research was finished. My goal was simple. Figure out deep drilling, get materials, build better defenses, like armor, and maybe keep everyone's limbs attached this season. And I would have done it too, probably, if I didn't open my big adorable mouth. I would really love it if something happened. Did I just say that out loud? They had termites, again. Of course they did. The mechs walked into the compound like they owned the place. Luckily, they ignored the mortar shells I had lying around. The anticipation was great for the glutes, terrible for morale. I spread everyone out, using doorways for cover, and for once, remembered the EMP launcher. When I tried to send in rest of the melee gang, the shooters blocked the doorways and wouldn't scooch over. Soma and Tatsunite held off the sighters and the termites. Agents supported them with EMPs, and for a while, it looked like we might actually win. Then Tatsunite went down. Soma followed. The sighters, now free, chased Agent through the armory, but Carlos intercepted. The whole gang scrambled to help. And right as the last punch bucket fell, Carlos got hit by friendly fire, went down instantly. At least she kept her new arm. The battle was won. Nobody died. We started collecting the pieces. Oh, there was another bike man! That thing was taken down so fast I could tell the crew had some things to work through. The infirmary filled up again. Spring has begun! We made it. Year 7 started strong. Lama was missing an ear, the infirmary was too full to fit everyone, and Darkling started binging on alcohol while still bleeding out. Honketon had to treat him mid-binge like some kind of field bartender. Typhoid and Astur caught infections right as our medicine ran out. Spectacular timing. Biofuel research was finished. Transport pods were my goal. I had some fun ideas, but steel was once again a theoretical material, so everything I wanted in life had to wait, again. Then, a wedding. G-Bro and CJ tied the knot. That's the good news. The bad news is, some genius with cereal box grade medical degree treated Typhoid's infection. We lost him, our bestest crafter. People couldn't stop hurling insults even at the funeral. No fighting! Rest in peace, Typhoid. It was an honor to serve with you. After that, I discovered Soma was buried in our museum. No idea who approved that, but I respect the commitment to interactive exhibits. Okay, good job guys, that was a hard day. We burned through a bunch of research. No plan, just coping. Couldn't afford to use any of it anyway, but at least the ideas were free. April May 4th, Randy sent the murder of lynxes. Astor and Nico got caught outside. Turns out you can't outrun the honey badgers of cats, or the consequences of letting your guard down. Raiders from the Macam Covenant happened to be visiting. One booked a suite at Corpse Lake, another at our hospital. We are officially allied now. Brouma bonding. The next day, we got to enjoy our first Scaria infection, a disease that makes you go berserk if untreated. Awesome! This time, I made sure Lama handled that one personally. Thanks to never-ending mechanoid donations, we finally built the ground-penetrating scanner, and Nico and Astor celebrated by becoming lovers. I repeat, trauma bonding. April May 8th, Misko got inspired to make a grand sculpture, the first piece of art since the Murderworm arc. I accidentally cancelled it halfway through. Productivity? 0. Emotional damage? Yes. That was me trying to clear prioritized work to send hyper-focused Misko to sleep. Sometime later, Zilla almost died hunting a sloth. Randy felt bad and dropped supplies as an apology. Then, an infestation in our battery room. I was right to fear that space since our Industrial Revolution era. Prince got incapacitated when handing out eviction notices. Some of the batteries got chewed, but overall, lean operation. Next, I thought my steel shortage was solved, but the scanner was just too slow. So I sent a crew to mine a nearby tile. The plan was to stay a few days. Then a mech hive disagreed, and a grizzly slapped Soma into reincarnation. We came home early for the funeral, but hey, at least we got some steel. While the caravan catastrophe was unfolding, Zilla bumped out masterwork clothing, and Astor and Nico got engaged. Love and Death, the Rimworld special. From there, we focused on Starflight tech, because at this point, the goal is to leave before Randy learns math. That night, we saw our first Aurora since year 1. It was peaceful. Briefly, then Reno raided. My Great Wall of Animal Safety worked as a deterrent, but they still bombed our living quarters. I tried to be creative and snipe the grenadiers, but opened the door at the worst possible time, and Misko got blown into bits. There was nothing left for us to bury. The recruit we wanted got up mid-treatment and joined the body count. The prisoner we got wasn't a keeper. At least Misko's final sculpture was finished, something to remember her by. After the raid came mood swings. Prince and Zilla tag-teamed Agent. Not like that. Nature attacked us again. First with a mad mare, then with a herd of 7 Boomalopes. I couldn't even get through that without minor injuries. Shoot! Yo, that was too close. Might be. And because math is hard, there was one Boomalope I missed that got the drop on us, and as a cherry on top the Suvat Sunday, CJ and Hunkathon, my snipers, kept missing the gasoline cow lying on the ground. On the bright side, a rat and a muffalo volunteered as dinner. That was spring. It was awful. This is the bane I was looking for. And summer has begun! The sunny season started off easy. We built a chess club, complete with masterwork chess table, and a couple of chairs so artistic they could probably critique themselves. G-Box and Zilladin weren't done blessing the colony. They cranked out a few more masterworks just to show off. I realized leaving leather furniture outside to rot was stupid, so it got moved back in to amp up the rec room. Progress was smooth. We researched Starflight sensors and an AI to steer the ship while the crew sleeps. The ground-penetrating scanner found blast steel. No idea where, since I was too distracted to check it right then. Randy, in his benevolence, dropped us some rice and steel, and Abracadabra offered information on a Persona core. The golden ticket off this rock. There was more info behind it, but it was locked behind a phone call. Morale was high, except for Tatsy Knight, who took some unpaid time off to miss his dear departed wife. Following advice from a YouTube comment, I'm focusing on wrapping my crew in armor before I steer this wagon into the next disaster. Last time was a haunting failure, but I got tired of sitting on my thumbs and sent out another mining squad anyway. It's always steel. They decided to nap between tiles on a 1-hour trip. Pretty sure it was just to piss me off. August 6th. Upon arrival, I think I saw bison for the first time ever. We set up camp and started tearing down everything that looked metallic, walls, furniture and whatnot. Estimated haul 500 plus steel. Sometime meanwhile, we finished researching crypto sleep caskets. Perfect timing. I'd have loved to sleep through what happened next. The mech hive noticed we were having fun and decided to fix that. Before we could even start screaming, Rainer sent 9 idiots to raid home base. The mining crew scrambled back while I screamed into the void. The raiders had tunnelers. Of course they did. They finished headbutting through the walls right as our caravan returned. But we had cover. They didn't. I also learned that we needed more doors. For the dummies in the back, doors equal more pew-pew holes. The failed infirmary finally justified its existence when Prince hit there to flank the medalist speeches. Meanwhile, Agent ended the wall fornicator's reign of vandalism in the living quarters. Marine armor impressed the heck out of me. Prince tanked so many bullets it made me reconsider fashion. Unfortunately, she still caught a bullet to the brain mid-retreat and became a savant. Couldn't speak anymore, or some such nonsense. I'm not entirely sure. Just as she was charging back into the fray, probably drooling, the enemies fled. 3 new potential recruits checked into our guest suites. Happy days. The caravan didn't even make it inside the walls before the fight was over. Peace returned to Getsutopia. Nico threw a tantrum and destroyed an excellent bison wool duster. I happily traded that for more peace. Darkling went on an Ambrosia binge, then got a free brain reset from Lama. Releasing one of our older unwanted prisoners somehow improved the relations this time. The quests were getting ridiculous, and I was ignoring them with gusto. Prince, despite allegedly losing the ability to speak, could still technically handle wardening. Or I still don't get it. Darkling kept things interesting by trying to tank the colony's KD ratio. He chased G-Bugs across the whole base. Lama fixed him. He then later tried to kill the Wrangler taking care of him, but gave up thanks to the power of Peekaboo and somehow got happier for it. I tested whether rivals could improve relations through wardening. Turns out they can. I got bored of micromanaging that experiment pretty quickly. Tatsunite gave up on the colony halfway through Lama's wedding. We had to cancel it because Lama needed to put him in a timeout, because there was no way I was letting him waltz off with a uranium spear and a shield belt. He had his own honeymoon psychotically wandering in his cell. The psychic drone screaming directly into our boys' brains did not, shockingly, improve morale. Randy celebrated peace by dropping 7 face masks for no reason. Not long after, Lama and Sin finally got married. Nico and Astur followed soon after. Though Nico got the Tatsunite treatment because Astur made sure to finish whatever it was that kept him from stepping on the altar. Ripley joined the colony and got molded into Lianu. A few inspirations popped up across the board. It was the calmest stretch we'd had in years. Naturally, it couldn't last. Recent break? Oh no. Oh no. And that's it for this time, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care now. Bye bye then. Have a wonderful day.